Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Ratitude Podcast. I just have the best friends and people in my life. I'm so excited about our guest here, Sergey Vasilyev. He owns the dance studio where I've been dancing at. So it's called Let's Dance with Me in Naples, Florida. And I believe that the best dance instructors in the whole universe are here in Naples at Let's Dance with Me. The owner, Sergey, welcome to our podcast here.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Robert. Yeah, it's a pleasure. And thank you so much for speaking so highly about us. We'll continue working hard, to improve everybody. Yeah, but definitely I'm proud of myself too, what we have, in terms of teachers. They're all wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, they are. And, I started dancing at your studio just over a year ago, and it's been such a wonderful experience. Nothing I ever imagined was going to happen, because I initially signed up with a former partner just to have something kind of to do. And then that relationship ended, but I had just bought 20 more lessons. And I thought, what am I going to do with these? So I decided to try these lessons on my own. And then you assigned me a beautiful dance instructor, Barbara, and she taught me the waltz. And now we're preparing the Argentine tango, another waltz, a quick step for our showcase in December 15th. That is just phenomenal. And I love being there, but I want to talk to you first because I want to know how you created this, what your background is. You're not obviously from Naples. Tell us a little bit about how you became a dancer, how you became an entrepreneur, and just let our audience know how Sergey developed.
Dancing appeared to be a passion out of nowhere. There was a moment when my mom wanted me to do something after school. And like boys, I chose like football, maybe karate, something real for the real men. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but mom says, no, this is too traditional, or it's going to teach you to be rough and brutal. I want you to be a gentleman, I said, oh, well, okay. And we were just passing by some activity center near school. We probably should translate it like this. It's not like a dance studio. It was multiple things there, different activities were offered. And we're passing by dancing. And she goes, that's what I want you to do. And I was still neutral to it, and she really signed me up with this. It clicked in my mind as I was 8 years old, or seven back then. She says, I want you to be a gentleman. I want you to be able to go to the wedding parties and be able to invite ladies to dance. And there was nothing like back then in Russia, social dancing, it was post-Soviet Union country. So
yes.
I don't know, she was caught by this idea on her own wedding when somebody was inviting ladies and was dancing. He was true gentleman, and so I said, okay, it kind of clicked in me. I don't know, I was 7-year-old, clicked in me. I still remember that day when she said that. And then she signed me up with a classmate, and this is how it started. And of course, I was amazed by abundance of girls, like, wow, and probably from the class of 40, 30 kids who was there, still around maybe 2-3 of us, from that enrollment. Yeah, I know a few people who were around. Yeah, So that was the start. And then slowly, activity after activity, in the dance, competitions, and it kind of drew me in. Yeah. So that was the story about how I started. Yeah, mom was a motivator.
Oftentimes, mom is an important motivator in our lives. Yeah. So how did you, you danced then from 7 on and have continued to. How did you come to the United States? What's your story about immigration?
I guess it begins with just a desire to have a better life. And my father was promoting this a lot in the family. We got to go better. We're going to go to the next level. And he said that, I see you somewhere, in a foreign country, I want you to go that way. And then Europe was never attracting me, but the United States was attracting me one way or the other through English classes, And then there was a program at the university, students exchange program, where I could go with other students to work in, low skill jobs, in a summer camp for pocket money, basically in America. But I was looking at this as a cool learning experience, cool way to discover the world, because I'd never been back then abroad besides of Dubai. way,
Yes.
So it was an interesting opportunity for me. And, through learning English culture, maybe American culture during the English classes, it was appealing to me all the time.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
jumped into it and I came first time and it clicked for me. I said, oh my God, I love this, I love these people. I love the culture. I see myself here, but I have no idea, how hard immigration will be and all of that. So this was nothing to do with dancing first. And then I thought, so how to get there? And basically dancing took me there just shortly,
Mm.
but of course, go ahead and ask more questions, which would be interested to hear answers for potentially. Dancing made it happen. Summer camp, I've done 2 summers and I've made a lot of friends. I've seen a lot. It was absolutely amazing experience.
Where were you at summer camp? What
It,
the
it,
part of the U.S.?
it was Prescott, Arizona. So, boom, that
Oh,
way. Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
In the
It,
summertime, it could be pretty hot there.
Yeah, I guess my life was preparing me for Florida back then. So I guess it was that. So, and then I came back to Russia. It was 2 summers I spent. On the summer number
Yeah.
three, we couldn't be allowed to go as I was the last year student at the school, and the
Hmm.
risk of me overstaying the category of people like me was high. So
Yes.
they were denying applications, and it was understandable. And then I thought, okay, but I want to be there. So you ask like how do you get into business, let's say, or why dancing, why I'm doing this,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
So I always want to have a better life, and I always wanted to get to the next level. And it happened that way that dancing was taking me that way. I
Hmm.
was trying to deny dancing many times. I was trying to do something else, but I always loved it here.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it seemed to be dancing was making a trick, taking me all the time to next level. Dancing, dance instruction right now, which I enjoy. Yeah. So, but of
So,
course,
were there competitions then that you were going to in the United States?
yeah, I'll tell them, I guess, yeah, how it linked together to dancing. So
Okay.
summer camps. Then on the last year, I couldn't make it, so it was denial for category
Hmm.
like me. And then
Hmm.
I'm thinking, but you know what? I still want to get out of where I'm at, and opportunity presents itself in Dubai. So I get hired to work in a dance studio there as an
Hmm.
instructor. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I go there, and it was a short term, basically contract. So then I'm finding a dance partner in America,
Hmm.
and deciding maybe to dance. I didn't know what I'm doing, but I wanted to get back to the States. And
Hmm.
definitely,
Hmm.
I felt myself that I could do it through dancing. And I'm enjoying. I
Hmm.
cannot drop it. So I was, 20, probably 21 back then. So it was like a mixture of emotions, where to go, what to do. But dancing was always there, and it clicks with a partner. So I'm coming to Maryland in 2007, 2008. I think
You met this partner in Dubai.
I met her online on one of the boards where people looking for each other to partner with.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, as a professional dancer, you can represent any country you want. So you can find a
Hmm.
partner in UK, in Africa, in Australia, anywhere you wish,
Okay.
and you can
Hmm.
move, click, and develop. So that was the next step. And I came in and started dancing with her a little bit.
Hmm.
That's how I got
In
to the States
Maryland.
in 2005 in Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then that's where the business begins. Then I'm realizing that I like social dance schools. I like that. I like teaching. I discovering this, and I like that this amazing activity allows me to make a living. So I'm jumping very heavily into learning how the social schools work. I over the course of a few years down the road, I worked for 3 or 4 different places where I was learning a lot, where I was trained a lot,
Hmm.
and that's how it started. And then I met my wonderful wife, and instead of California, we ended up in Naples. So we were
Oh,
considering California. We met
okay.
in.
And was she American?
No, she is from Belarus,
Okay.
from there. Yeah, so
Okay.
we met with her online out of one like. Basically, she put a like on on my
Uh-huh.
picture, and
Wow.
I'll say honestly, I'll say this word, maybe a little bit bad word, stupid. So I was at the moment of relationships changed, and I was a little bit disappointed, at things. And
Hmm.
I said, you're not a stupid blonde. No, thank you. But yeah, yeah. And then I came back home after teaching that night, and I put another like, like on her. And then she
Uh-huh.
responds with like on me next day. So we exchanged a few likes. And then we
Uh-huh.
wrote each other and we started
Uh-huh.
talking. So she's
Uh-huh.
there, and I was working for a school in Connecticut back then.
When you say
So
she's there in Belarus?
yes, she's in Belarus.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
happens through social media. It's not anything like with a relationship website, nothing. It's just social
Yeah,
media.
yeah, yeah.
You
Yes,
know,
yes.
it's one of the platforms. Yeah. And yeah, back and forth likes. And then I'm writing, we started talking, and it's just so engaging. It just goes like a river, it just pulls us through,
Yes. Yes.
And then I said, okay, let's FaceTime. Let's see if we have a really click here.
Yes. Yes.
And so I'm going to the competition in Boston. It was 2015. Now we're there. And I said, I'll do the dancing, I'll finish, and then out of hotel room, let's FaceTime. Let's just see if we have true click, because it seems to be we enjoying ourselves,
Yes. Yes.
each other. And we do. And we spent on this Skype. So I'll say this: I had a competition in the morning, break in the afternoon, and competition in the evening. So
Mm-hmm.
we Skyped with her something like 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and we spoke 4 hours, Robert. It was a
Mm-hmm.
click,
Mm-hmm.
oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
And we knew that click, I mean, at least, well, we knew both. That's how it started. Sorry, I went away from dancing into relationships a little bit, just very quickly, last minute on this.
Yes.
So we Skyping, and I'm wearing striped shirt like this, like a sailor, like this. And like we're connecting now, so video pops up of her, and I start laughing. This just comes out of me because she has exactly the same shirt on her.
Oh.
And my video is not coming out yet. She goes, "What are you laughing about? How are you?" I said, "You will see in a second." And then my video pops in. We're both laughing. I said, "Oh my God, look at us! I guess it's meant to be." So we spent talking 4 hours. She was with me on the phone. I was doing my hair, getting ready. I said, "Honey, I gotta go dance now. I have a student. I gotta work." And after that, it rolled. Then in September, we meet. I'm asking her right away to come to the States so we could spend time together. It was approximately this time, September. After that, in December of that year, I proposed in her. It was that crazy. My parents were,
Wow.
yeah, that was a
Yes.
story. Yeah.
But now you're a Russian citizen, but you're in the United States. Did you have a green card, or what year was this? What did you have to do?
We had to go through a very hard process of neutralizing her. She's resident right now. Back then I was a resident, and as you're a U.S. resident, you cannot really help another person yet. So we had to go through a series of visas for her, and then
Mm-hmm.
we had to then we filed for green card. We invested a lot of dollars into this process. It
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
depression on the way through. She goes, maybe I should go back, but we had this crazy love, and now we have family, we have children. So love kept us, definitely. It was a hard one.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, hard
Okay.
immigration
And then,
process.
how did you decide to open up your own studio?
I had this always in mind, but I was always keeping it later, because I wanted to learn as much as possible. Because to run your own place, to
Mm-hmm.
deal with the majority of things, you have to have some experience. So I was working for a long time. For the last employer, I was working for almost 8 years,
Okay.
and was very knowledgeable people, ahead of me. Like I was working towards them, and I was trained. After I met my wife, uh, life speeded up. So things started rolling quicker. So my employment was going to the end. I feel like I reached all the goals there. And then we wanted to see where we're going to go. We ended up going to Florida instead of California.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I started teaching myself by myself, because there was no really place where I would work and really enjoy further growth. And then also
Mm-hmm.
I started feeling that I'm ready, getting ready to,
Mm-hmm.
start
Mm-hmm.
going closer to my dream of having this. And student after student started growing slowly, the client base, building the plan for the studio itself. And then was fortunate to sign up with a current landlord, and they built this amazing school for me, and it continued. Then I hired people, and then found one of the amazing instructors who is working with Robert right now too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And what year did you open then? Let's Dance with Me.
It was opened right before pandemic. I think
Oh.
yeah, a year before or 8 months before. It was tragic. Yeah, I mean, you
Mm,
just open, but thankfully I had my clientele who was already kind of loyal to me, who went through this with me, and I had people. If it was a fresh start, yeah, it would be very difficult. But 2018, I think, or something like this, right before that crazy year of pandemic. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah, well, so tell our audience what are some of the benefits of dance? Because I had no idea. I was doing it to kind of have fun, to connect to my partner, but it's just opened up a whole world of things
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. Dancing, yeah, just a word. But behind of that word, yeah, so many different meanings and benefits which people can receive, starting from just fun. Definitely it's fun to dance to music, fun to be with a teacher who is, positive, encouraging, driven too. It's a great exercise, of course, because you burn. We did this Apple Watch experiment with one of my students. We burned on one lesson with her like 600 calories or something like this, or 700 or one lesson just over just dancing without, of course, working out, things like this. Then it's a great social activity. You meet so many people, right?
Mm-hmm.
People come to the studio. You may chat with someone. You go to the activities such as dance competitions. You see a lot of things. You can travel with this. Yeah, you go to the dance parties and people of all kind come in, and single, those who are married together, separate. So in people of different professions, it just so becomes so social. Definitely, if you want to make some friends, it's a great activity to do because you will be on the floor with other people. You will be interacting with other people in the studio. You will be asked by your teachers to go to join some showcase, some competition. Not even necessarily that you need to do this. You just to come and be as part of community,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely meet someone. Then some people find this as a great opportunity to build a strength in their body, in their core, in their legs. It sounds from the side like, okay, just people shuffling the floor, but there's so many ways to teach it, so many ways to do it, and so many ways to engage body. Of course, posture. Of course, some of my students use it for business reasons. They dance, they compete, they put it on their personal, Facebook pages, to show that they have this beautiful outlet which they're going for, and they have quite extraordinary portfolio of things. They're not just professionals in their, field,
Mm-hmm.
but also they do this, 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 this. So
Mm-hmm.
it becomes that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, many different benefits could be found. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
confidence builder. We
Mm-hmm.
have people who come and they let's say went through some relationship failures or changes, or they are about to meet someone and they need that a little bit of encouragement. They need some
Mm-hmm.
skills to pick up that they could carry
Mm-hmm.
themselves confidently out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the biggest things. We build that confidence, we build self-esteem, we build that presentation. Like I'm working right now with one of the ladies who is going through divorce, and that was her motivation to come in. She says, I feel this and that, I would like. I said, oh, absolutely, and she's enjoying herself, will laugh, she's about to meet someone. So I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
my job is getting slowly done, and I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah, all those things have happened for me. The other one that I didn't realize is, and I was talking with one of my other dance instructors in California, because I go back and forth, and she uses it to help people with Parkinson's. And I said, what? And then we talked about it, and she said, because I'm learning the Argentine tango right now, and she said that most of her clients are doctors, lawyers, and engineers, and they're
yeah,
doing it to keep their minds sharp because
absolutely,
it is a mental challenge.
absolutely.
Coordinating your legs and your arms and your posture and all these things, and it's a real mental challenge.
Absolutely. On that note, I'll say I had a client. She was a doctor, and she would have to announce different diagnoses to the patients. Sometimes one time she comes and she's just very down like this for a second. Although she's a very positive person. I said, "Is everything okay?" And she shares with me that she had to share with someone about diagnosis and something. And then she says, "Sergey, that's why we dance. Let's go."
Mm-hmm,
Because for
mm-hmm,
her, it's
mm-hmm.
that big way
Yeah,
to vent off.
yes, release.
And speaking of Parkinson, I participated myself with one of my clients who were a physical therapist, and she was building some Alzheimer project with some other client, and they set up a program for Alzheimer people, Alzheimer students,
Mm-hmm,
to
mm-hmm.
train to develop them, one way or the other. Of course, it was a very different situation than to train a person who doesn't have this, but it was so beneficial. I participated in that. We did this like series of classes, for those type of people. So
Yeah.
it's definitely such a widely used activity, let's say, for a wide range of circumstances and people. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and I was not a dancer. I was afraid of dances. Even back in school, I would be if I went to a dance, which I rarely did. I'd stand by the wall and just watch everyone, and maybe at the end I'd sneak in for one or two and go, "This is fun," but it's over. I was afraid of it, and so I just haven't been a dancer. I started in my mid 60s last year, and and I didn't want to because it's kind of for a
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of, I'd rather go play baseball or basketball or
Exactly.
football. So real man sports, just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about when
yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah,
7.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
have found it to be such a good physical exercise. I mean, I sweat every
Absolutely.
day, and
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
run. I ran before. I got strength training. I got Pilates. I got yoga. I got dance. I sweat almost as much as at dance class as I do at
Right.
these other ones. Well, not hot yoga, but it it
Ah,
it,
right,
it
right, right.
is a great workout. I
Great.
know that it's building my posture, and it is so much fun. And there's just
Fun.
such joy that comes from it. And I think
Yeah.
part of that is because of the instructors that you've selected, that you've trained, that you've
Thank
groomed.
you. Thank you.
Because
Yeah.
the people that I know, they're yourself and
Yeah.
Andre and
Yeah.
Zach and Barbara.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all of them have just such beautiful personalities. And that's why, anytime someone comes to me and says, I want to dance, I say, let's
Oh,
dance with me,
thank you.
because
Thank you,
it
Robert.
is
Thank you.
the most
Yeah.
beautiful place. When I
Thank you.
walk in
Thank you.
there,
Thank you.
whatever challenges or issues in life, they just kind of dissipate. And, Barbara's like,
Yeah. Let's go, Robert.
hugs
Yeah.
me.
Exactly.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She
Yeah.
says, let's get this party started. And
Started.
it's
Yeah.
just, yes, that's her thing. That's her saying.
Yeah.
And it's just such a beautiful place to be.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like you ask about how it was built like this, and it's in the baby phase, the studio. And actually, we just hired another great staff addition. His name is Adam Jonah. He sent me just now a video presenting himself, like who he is, what he
Hmm.
is. I'll post it soon. Very also, I think, personable guy and
Yeah.
amazing person too. When I'm looking at the people whom we're choosing, I'm trying to find people in them. Because we work with
Hmm.
people, you want to bring on the floor someone who is going to click with the person who comes
Yes.
in, and hear them, because this is so important. We have 45 minutes of just that cocoon, and I say, listen, this is all about you now. Stop all your life for 45 minutes, give it to me, and tell me how you feel, what you are. Are we going to today entertain you, exercise you, where you at? Tell me, yeah.
Hmm.
And with
Hmm.
that in mind, we want to select people like this, so we would be connecting to people, because this is,
Yes.
I think, the biggest driver. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And like a lot of activities, especially as a transformational coach, as a mentor to a lot of people, I find that dance reflects life oftentimes. In that, especially as a fairly beginner, it is tough for me to get my legs going in the right place. I want to look smooth immediately. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
working on patience. I'm
yeah,
working
exactly.
on precision. I'm
Yeah,
working on practice. I'm working
yeah,
on dedication. I'm working on, oh, dang it, I missed that thing again.
yeah. That
Like,
turn. Yeah,
so judging myself, everything that I'm working on in life is reflected in the dance, in the practice, in the competitions. And so it's a beautiful place for personal development, I
yeah, yeah,
find,
yeah.
as long as you're being conscious of your unconscious.
Absolutely. I was trained by a number of coaches, dance teacher coaches. We're talking about
Mm-hmm.
not dance sport.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the coaches says on a session, he says, "Listen, this is a personal growth business." Just like for you, but you later for the client, they come in with one type of package, and then they grow and you develop them. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
your biggest mission as a teacher. Dancing, he says, will
Yes.
be always there. Of course, you're not going to play
Yes.
chess on this lesson. You're going to dance, but you're going to, develop in him or her or in a couple what they came with and take them to the next level. So it's definitely personal growth. And he goes, Sergey, you have to remember about this. You take them at this point and you deliver them to that point, and it's going to translate in their life. Like you said, Robert. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it goes back and forth, I guess. Yeah, it's
Yes. Yeah.
very interesting.
It sure is, sure is. So, Sergey, I know that your time is limited, and I got to get running to get to
Yeah.
class with
Oh,
Barbara in
yeah, yeah,
15 minutes. But
yeah.
do you have some kind of words of wisdom, some last minute advice to our audience? Which, by the way, I don't know if I told you, but we are the number 11 rated podcast in the category of health and fitness in Argentina, of all
Wow,
places.
wow,
So,
wow.
so,
I'm so
so
honored
it's
to be
pretty
here.
cool.
No, it's
Yeah.
always a big pleasure to be around you, Robert. Yeah, you have
No.
such amazing energy and yeah, just truly, truly, truly pleasure. I see you here at the studio too, and on the podcast, it's awesome to be. Yeah, just great energy. I love that. I'm an energy person too. Yeah,
Yes, you
that's
are.
so,
Yes, you are. But if
yeah,
you had some words of wisdom
yeah,
to someone
of
that's
course.
maybe thinking about dance or maybe
Yeah,
has been dancing,
yeah,
what kind of, any kind of words of wisdom that you could
absolutely,
leave us with as we
absolutely.
close out the show?
I think the most important thing here to think about is that don't be afraid. Just make a one step, and also think that you will find the right teacher for yourself. You don't have to sign up with somebody who you're just starting right away. Neither here,
Hmm.
neither somewhere else you go. Just find the right click for yourself, and you will see. Out of trying maybe 5, 6 people, you will see there will be one who will or two. Or maybe you'll be lucky. Maybe all of them will be, but there will be
Yes.
a person who will click with you and hear you.
Yeah.
I work for people. I have my own studio right now. You find that not every teacher is able to click and either they train or grow. It's another thing, but they have to. So it's about you as a student. Don't be afraid. Make one step. Maybe come for a class. Maybe come and visit the dance party. Maybe come with your friend. Truly, don't be afraid because we're here. We want to hear you out. We would like to create something that's valuable for you. Definitely give yourself a chance. You will be surprised. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah.
great. And I'll see
Yeah.
you in about 15 minutes, and I'm coming to the dance party on Friday night too.
Woohoo, let's go.
Yeah. Thank you so
Let's do
much,
it.
Sergey. It's been a pleasure and honor to have you here on our Gratitude podcast.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert. Yeah, the same. Absolute big pleasure. And I feel very honored. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye. Have a
you.
wonderful day.